Good morning, Mark D. Hutchison, the Ask Mark Realtor. Thanks for having me on the call. I'm enjoying coffee. Thanks for my Pete's coffee. I appreciate that. It's good of you. I'm Mark D'Andrea, the Doctor of Real Estate. We're coming to you again this week, guys. If you like these videos, smash that like button, share them on all your social media platforms. Mark D. Hutchison, the Ask Mark Realtor, has the Ask Mark Realtor YouTube channel. I have Doctor of Real Estate 1. We love talking to you about this stuff. Mark, I thought we talked today about the market. It's interesting when you've been in real estate, marketing real estate services for the years that you and I have combined. And when you are leading a team like we lead the AMP team, you hear a lot of things, media-wise, social media-wise, neighborhood-wise. And I just wanted to correct some of those misunderstandings and talk to you a little about that. So how are you today?
I'm good. Had a closing yesterday with a seller, had a closing this morning with the buyer. I guess I'm like you, we've talked about this for years, that the market goes up and down for certain people, market goes up and down for certain realtors, but those that continue to do what you need to do day in and day out, market stays pretty much the same. I mean, maybe we don't get 20 offers, we only get 4, but it's still busy. I mean, there's bad pockets, there's good pockets. Columbus is a fantastic place to live. Everything is happening here, center of government, all kinds of schools, jobs, companies are moving here. I can't think of a better place to live. The economy is good. The tax rates they're not extreme. They're not bottom pit where we don't do any services for our residents, but this is just an awesome place to be.
Well, I love hearing that from somebody else other than, folks that live around me in Sunbury, or folks that live in Westerville or Delaware or Mount Vernon or Centerburg, one of the areas around me. So let's do some math real quick. About 4 months ago, interest rates peaked at around 7%. Over the last 60 to 90 days, they've been in the low 6s or high 5s. I don't know that people know that, but those are the facts. The last 5 days, they've been, somewhere around 6.5. They're expected to settle this fall somewhere in the high 5s. However, waiting on interest rates to settle back down to, 6 or slightly below 6, the math of that for our buying population just, to me, doesn't make sense. So the lenders that you and I work with, Kyle Dines at Motto, Todd Pennington, Scott Vogel, Ryan Bush, others. You've got Chris, who do you work with?
Rapid Mortgage.
Rapid Mortgage. All of these lenders are doing an outstanding job connecting with and communicating with our potential buyers, and they're sharing with them the same concept that I'm about to share, which is the math. Guys, if you're listening to this, take this to the bank, pun intended. The difference in an interest rate that right now, say, is at 6 1/8, and next, this fall it'll be at 5.5 or 5, 1/8, even a full point difference. It makes about the cost of a Starbucks cup of coffee a day in savings to you. Remember that a house you're considering buying now, let's just say 300,000. In 1 year, if you wait a year, or even if you wait 9 months, close to a year, that house is going to go up a minimum of 5% in equity, and there's nothing you can do about that. So as the house that you could buy today at, say, 6.5%, you say, look, I want interest rates to go down to 5.5. I'm going to wait for a year or 9 months. That house is going to be $315,000. And the difference in the math between those two, and I've done it for several clients, is about the cost of a cup of Starbucks. So it's not worth waiting, right? If the difference between you buying now and buying later is just the savings of a cup of coffee, then drink one less cup of coffee a day and buy now. The other thing there that I think is interesting is you can always refinance down the road. You can do that and still shorten your mortgage term and save a lot of money that way. So look, we're not objective. I understand that. But if it's in your heart and in your head to buy a home, now is a very, very good time. Interest rates are still good. You and I and the rest, the buying public and selling public, are spoiled. We are, let's just admit it. since the late 80s or the early 90s, interest rates have been at 6% and down to 3% and below for that entire time. And so, you know, we get used to things being really, really inexpensive as it relates to rates. So that's the rate conversation. The other conversation about the market is this time last year, there were 1,250 houses on the market available to buy on average. About 6 months ago, that was 1,650. So it had gone up quite a bit. Now it's between 2,000 and 3,000. I've seen it as high as 3,000. Now it's down around 2,100. So there are more houses on the market to choose from. These are all good things that we're explaining here. So look, Mark and I feel the same way. We love Columbus and surrounding cities. Ohio is a great state. It's a good time to either buy or sell your home. You're still getting great value as a seller. Did I capture that well? Did I push those buttons well enough? I tried to focus on math because that's unemotional.
Yeah, no, I get it. And one last comment, I listed a house that was for investors, and I probably had a half a dozen investors tell me they're buying everything they can here in Franklin, Central Ohio, because they know what the city of Columbus is, what their game plan is for residential houses and commercial. They know what the businesses are coming into this community are doing. So they are buying, fixing, renting, and they're willing to hold 2 years or 20 years because they know that they're going to make a fortune as this market continues to roll upward, and they see no downside.
That is the last word from Mark D. Hutchison, the Ask Mark Realtor. I'm Mark D'Andrea, the Doctor of Real Estate. Guys, thanks a bunch for watching these videos. Mark, thanks for having me on the call. We'll continue the discussion next week. Have a great week.